Hello and welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're making old-fashioned rice pudding. To start with, you're going to need a large pot because what you're putting in it is going to cook up pretty high as it's simmering. So you want to make sure you have room for this. You're going to start out with 5.5 cups of whole milk and a half cup of heavy cream. The heavy cream I'm using just to thicken it up a bit. To this, you're going to add 3/4 cup of sugar and a half teaspoon of salt. Once you get this all into your pan, you want to mix it up. You're going to start out on a medium to high heat because you want to make sure that this simmers and actually gets to a boil before you add anything else to it. You will want to stir this occasionally to make sure you don't scorch your milk. Now it's going to take a few minutes before you get to boiling, so what you may want to do periodically in between stirring is put a lid on it. One thing you want to make sure is when you're stirring that if there's any sugar in the bottom of the pot, you stir it through to make sure it actually gets incorporated into the milk. Now, as you can see here at this point, I have gotten to the point where I am boiling. It's very hot and ready for you to go to the next step. Give it a good stir and then add in your 3/4 cup of long grain rice. You're going to want to stir this through once it's in to make sure that it is completely mixed through the milk. Once you have your rice in, you're going to want to reduce your temperature down to about medium or a little under. You want this to simmer, but you don't want it to boil hard. So over the time that you have the rice in here and you've had this down at a lower temperature, you're going to want to cook this for at least 50 minutes or more. It may take you almost an hour to get this to the consistency you want, but you want to come back and stir it periodically. I would say every 10 minutes or so, just to make sure that everything is not sticking to the bottom of the pan. And when you get near finished, you're going to notice that this is a lot thicker. It'll be the consistency of a pudding. So as you can see in the pot right now, you're pretty much at the point where you want to be, to where you're going to turn off the heat. Okay, so now you're at the point where you want to put in your vanilla extract. You are going to put in at least 3 teaspoons. You could put more. I tend to do it because I like vanilla extract, but you don't have to. Once you get it in, you're going to want to stir this up to make sure it's thoroughly mixed through. So at this point, you're about ready to refrigerate. So I transferred mine to this glass bowl, which has a lid, which is good because you don't want it just sitting out. And I put cinnamon on top of it. You do not have to, but you can. It's your choice. And I would refrigerate this for at least a couple hours before you eat it. And when you bring it out, you may want to add a little milk to whatever you use in your bowl to kind of thin it out a little bit. But in the end, this is what it's going to look like, old-fashioned rice pudding. If you like this video, I hope you like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.